Welcome Knights to another video for Mount Blade Bannerlord. Over the last 6 months I've witnessed several epic 500 player battles, and today I wanted to bring you some of my favourite ones to date. Bretonnia and the Coalition clans are about to clash in 3 legendary battles that will echo through the ages. Grab your sword, soldier, and let's jump in. In Battle 1 we're fighting over a bridge that overlooks a picturesque town. The Imperium Polskier Cavalry form up on their horses. The Kingdom of Mortenel are also present in this battle with their blue round shields. They head towards the front line. As we move through the Coalition clan, I can see Almagavas on the left there and the Vorzen clan on the right heading up the hill. The Vorzen clan did disband a few months ago, so this battle is one of those rare historic glimpses into the past. This was one of their glorious final moments. As we head towards the bridge, I can see Coronis Ibericus there and one of the household names, Blood Diamond, right at the front. As we come over the crest, it becomes clear that the Bretonnians are not attacking from this side. Instead, they're on the Coalition left, heading through this narrow passage. They're using their hills to mask their numbers and see if they can sneak up on the Coalition forces without them noticing. There's a number of well-regarded Bretonnian duchies here. I can see Castan in the foreground, Order of the Lake also bringing up the rear. As we move towards the front, I can see Montfort, Aquitani in their blue and yellow shields, and Mouselon who are out in front leading the charge. A cavalry engagement has broken out behind the Bretonnians, however, I don't think horsemen are going to decide this battle. It's going to be the infantry fighting face to face on that bridge. Bretonnia here are looking formidable as always as they stare the Coalition down. Speaking of which, let's head over to their lines. I can see Coronis Ibericus in front here. They're not intimidated by the Bretonnians one bit. Soldiers on both sides await their commander's orders. The Coalition cavalry sneak through, they're being pursued by the Bretonnians. However, the BRE cavalry break off, they don't like the look of that shield wall. All Bretonnian duchies are now present and accounted for. The order is given and they begin the march towards their opponent's front line. Shields are raised, they'll be looking to soak up those incoming arrows from the Coalition archers situated on the bridge. The infantry charge towards the front lines, however, they halt moments before clashing with the enemy forces. They decide to stare their opponents down, looking to intimidate them into a brash attack. The Coalition are having none of it, they taunt the BRE forces, trying to bait them in. The Coalition know they have the superior defensive position, they're not going to abandon it anytime soon. The Bretonnians are being cautious, they know their numbers will count for nothing down that narrow bridge pathway. For now, it's a waiting game to see which team will break first and attack. And just like that, the Coalition charge towards the Bretonnians. They leave the safety of the bridge, looking to overwhelm the BRE with their numbers. If they'd done the unexpected, the Bretonnians wouldn't have seen that coming. For now, the numbers look pretty even on both teams. It's slightly in favour of the Bretonnians, however, we know all too well you can't call it this early on in the battle. I'm not sure how they got there, but there's a small pocket of Mortenel fighters in the rear on the bridge there, attacking the Coalition from the back. It does seem to be working, they're holding out. Mouselon and Aquitani are coming in to support them. Blood Diamond and SVCI are having a hard time there plugging the gap. As we move around this side, Coronis Ibericus have got behind the Bretonnian forces and are attacking them in the rear. The numbers are still looking very even. Usually at this point in the battle we see one team get ahead, however it's still neck and neck. I just can't call it, guys, we're going to have to keep watching to see who's victorious. The fighting is well and truly on the bridge once again, the new lines have been drawn. Oh, but what's this? The BRE cavalry coming from behind! The Coalition forces are in complete disarray right now. The BRE take the opportunity, charge up the bridge and straight into the Coalition lines. The Coalition are well and truly on the back foot. You know, in a battle when you can spot the exact moments things go wrong for one team, that was it. That Bretonnian cavalry charge just completely decimated the Coalition lines. They're now having to fall back as the BRE surge in. I think that's it, guys. I can't see the Coalition getting their way out of this one. That is a Bretonnian victory. Let's move swiftly on to the second battle. In this round, we're moving away from the summer town and into the snowy mountains of the north. The coalition field 257 troops in this battle. They form up and head towards the fortified castle on the hill. We're heading by SVCI and Kingdom of Hordaland here. Both have a large number of men. They'll be contributing a sizable number to the overall coalition force. As we approach the castle, it becomes clear just how formidable the defences truly are. If I was the coalition, I'd be pretty concerned right now. Perhaps there's another way in. Coronis Ibericus lead the charge. As they head up the hill, they spot a side gate. We don't know where this leads right now, however, this looks like a better opportunity than going in via the front door. The coalition head in, unsure what awaits them. Perhaps it's a Bretonnian trap, perhaps it's the opportunity they've been looking for. It leads into an open underground cave. Arrows are coming in, a few Bretonnian sentries have spotted them and have opened fire. In this underground cavern, there are multiple paths that lead to the other side. The coalition will have to use all of them to surround the enemy. Knights Hospitaller there are fighting for the Bretonnians and hold the front path. They need to pay attention. Coronis Ibericus are heading up this side pathway and will cut them off if they're not careful. At this point, we've got no idea where the main Bretonnian force is. It's just the vanguards holding the coalition in place until they arrive. As we move around the side, we can see that Knights Hospitaller have begun to fall back. Their allies have not arrived in time. They're going to have to find more defensible positions at the top of the hill. The coalition swarm in. They've now taken control of the entire cavern. The Bretonnians have been locked in right at the top here. I don't know where the main BRE force is. Knights Hospitaller here are doing their best, but if they don't get back up soon, it's going to be all over for them. They're holding on by a thread. The coalition surge forwards. There's just nothing that hosts can do without backup. And just in time, the Bretonnian forces arrive as the coalition push through. That was not a moment too soon. If they hadn't arrived at that exact moment, that could have spelled disaster. We've got another very narrow fight here where there's very little room to maneuver. I can already tell that this battle's going to be an absolute slog unless one of the teams can get behind the other. Both sides are using their momentum and pushing forwards. You have to try and get around one side and break the enemy line. That's easier said than done. Look over here! Montfort and the Order of the Lake have found a narrow pathway. They're trying to get behind the coalition forces. It's going to take them a long time to flank around. They're going to have to rush and get behind as soon as possible. If they don't arrive in time, their allies may already be dead. In this situation though, I would have done the same. It's worth a try. At the top there, the fight is still raging on. Perhaps they can get there in time. The coalition haven't yet spotted them. This could work to the Bretonnian advantage. They charge across the bridge looking to get behind as quickly as possible. The coalition have cottoned on, however, not before losing a number of archers and infantry. Almagarders at the top there are forming a shield wall to plug the gap, however, I don't think that's going to be enough by itself. In the cave entrance up here, the fight is coming to a climax. The coalition have overwhelmed the BRE lines. They've retreated into this doorway and out into the open. The coalition do have the slight numbers advantage, but not enough to call it for sure. The Bretonnians out here have created a nice choke point with archers firing through. Perhaps they can rack up a few kills to turn the tide. I'm not sure though, guys. They're now outnumbered 2-1. That wide flank by Montfort and Order of the Lake could have been something spectacular. However, it just arrived that little bit too late. The Bretonnians make a last stand down here as the coalition charge in, and that's it. It's a coalition victory. Well played to both teams. Guys, we're just about to move on to round 3, however, just a quick message. If you want to take part in these events, you're welcome to join us at the Kingdom of Hordaland. I'll post a link to our Discord in the description below. Battle 3 officially begins. We're fighting in the forest around the area of Mortenel. Once again, the coalition arrive on site, form up under their banners and head towards the front lines. In this battle, Knights Hospitaller are back on the side of the coalition where they should be. Coronis Ibericus and the Kingdom of Hordaland are out in front, forming the coalition vanguard. Blood Diamond head towards the capture point and take it. The Bretonnian cavalry scouts out the coalition forces as their infantry arrive on the field. They'll be racing around the edges, looking for any opportunity to strike when the coalition least expect it. Both sides come across each other on this narrow ledge. Again, we're quite close quarters, but it's a little bit more open than some of the other battles we've seen in this video. The Bretonnian forces form up looking formidable as always. As we move across the other side, the coalition get into position. Almagavers and SVCI are forming the coalition centre. Kingdom of Franks are in reserve there. Shields are up, looking to soak up that incoming arrow fire. As we move up the hill, some of the coalition have tried to get behind the BRE. They head back down, however, the Bretonnians are positioned just a little bit too far back for this flank to be effective. They'll be clashing straight into the front of the BRE shields. And there's a lot of them, it's going to be difficult to break through. But look, in the back lines, Imperium Polskir come crashing through. The Bretonnians do seem to have spotted it, their spears are out, and the Imperium Polskir veer off. A number of their cavalry do get cut down there. And that signals the beginning of the fighting. Coronis Ibericus charge down, and the main coalition lines clash with the Bretonnian shields. The fight is now in full swing. The ledge to the left is going to make it difficult to flank. Troops will have to be careful not to fall off. A smart play might be to push your opponent off of the ledge. Knights Hospitaller are making a great push on the right. They're getting round the BRE and forcing them into a tight circle. Much like the other battles, the close quarter is making this very difficult for cavalry. There isn't much space to maneuver or get a good charge out. On this side, Order of the Lake and Brionne are defending themselves against Coronis Ibericus and Knights Hospitaller. Currently, the numbers are fairly even, with slightly in favour of the coalition. Archers have positioned themselves on the hilltop here. That's going to make it very easy to fire down into the melee below and get some good kills. As it stands, the coalition are beginning to pull ahead in numbers. They've got slightly more than the Bretonnians. However, we know that that doesn't necessarily mean victory just yet. Let's see how this plays out. Brionne and the Order of the Lake are still putting up a staunch defence on this side. The Kingdom of Hordaland charge in to reinforce their coalition allies, and I think, guys, that spells disaster for the Bretonnians down here. We're now moving into the final moments of the battle, and I think, guys, it's all becoming clear. Today, this is going to be a coalition victory. Well played to both teams. As always, guys, if you think I did a good job with this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's you guys that make this all worth doing, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.